these strokes, but these at the bottom are the two
That are tough.
that are tough, and that's because you come in and you slide next to what it is, you kind of wiggle out, and then you just come up, and then you just tuck it right up under like that.
Oh.
So it's kind of like this one up here.
It's like this one, only it's just not coming here, it's
laying down
sideways.
Yeah.
And you're only going to see, you know, you're only going to see the tip of this rose. You're not seeing where it connects. And then over here, this one would come. And sometimes I'll pull these out so that they're a little bit, you know, wiggly, so that you
So
vary
those you
the
don't turn
outside.
upside down like you did that other one, the one that's hard to do.
No, these are really pretty easy. It's just that people don't get the idea. Now, the thing that, the biggest mistake most people make is when they're painting a rose, they do a side stroke here, and then they do a side stroke here, and then they do another side stroke here, and another one here, and then they do one here and one here. So you get this V shape right there, and that's not appealing. These have to overlap, because when the rose is closed up, these petals are overlapped. They don't all open, so one opens and then another one will open on top of it and another one. So you've got to have that overlapping of the petals. So when you get a chance, tear up a rose and look at it and how it connects. Okay, now, do you all want to practice some crescent strokes, or do you want to go on and try roses? A lot of you have done crescent strokes.
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Okay. So now we get to the fun part, double loading a brush. Okay, I start with I'll do little circles. I'll do several of these. I'll try to, I'm real technical with this. Now, when you get through and you want to add leaves, make a triangle, and curve, curve, you got a leaf. So it's easy to put leaves around your roses. I always paint my stroke roses first. If I was a pattern and I transfer it, I may transfer the leaves, but I don't paint them until I have painted the roses. I don't always finish the roses until after I finish painting the leaves, because then I can clean up the outer edges. But if you paint the leaves and then you do the roses, then it's very hard sometimes to cover the green that's underneath the leaf, because these colors are, some of them are more sheer. So I start out with, and this could be, you need a dark, medium, and light. So I start out with my medium value, and I'll just kind of paint circles. And if you're following a pattern, you would probably want to paint a circle inside, slightly inside what your outer rose is going to be, because you're going to be coming outside. So you don't want to paint huge circles. Now, the size of the brush I use, a lot depends. Let me go ahead and, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and, I don't clean my brushes except once in a while.
This is what I always have problems with.
I'm double loading the brush right now.
And it always just seems like I'm throwing the paint off the brush.
Usually I triple load brushes. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
I'm actually, so anyway, to triple load a brush, you load in your base color. You dip one corner in your dark and the other corner in your light, and then you work on your palette to blend the colors, and then you blend over here.
Okay, there you had your dark in the middle.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Do it what's comfortable for you.
Oh.
I usually have my light in the middle, but for this one, I forgot what I was doing. This one,
You're about to.
I'm gonna paint. This could just be a side-loaded brush. It doesn't have to be that. So I'm going to go ahead and put the center in. Okay, I'll make
Right
that
there,
one
it looks
face
like a
that
rose,
way,
Just that one little.
and then that one will go the other way, and then this one, I'll let this one go down. Okay, so this tells me where my roses are going to be directed. So if I'm doing a clump of roses, I don't want them all going in the same direction for interest. So you want them to kind of, go a little bit different. And
Looks
then,
like a rose right there. I could quit.
and then you can kind of just add some shading around opposite, you know, where the lower petals are going to be. I don't always do this. If I'm doing a small rose, I don't do this. Usually on bigger roses. You got that one?
Got
You got a diagram in your book that shows this. I mean, in your packet.
Guess I can quit
There's
now,
one
huh?
there.
I think that's
But-
what she's trying to tell you.
Yes.
But
She
Sharon,
said I'm tired of spots.
Sharon, you're welcome to take all the pictures you want.
I can send you the video.
Or you,
I can even YouTube it if you want me to, Donna.
well, if it turns out,
Okay.
if it turns out like crap, don't put it on there.
Well, you're talking.
Oh, wow.
This is a live video.
Okay, now back to what we're doing. Okay, I'm going to triple load the brush, so I'll load it first in the medium value.
Now she's gonna get all nervous.
No, I'm not. I
Okay,
don't care.
this is your light value here. Is
Yeah,
this what you're?
this is
okay.
light, medium, dark.
Okay.
And then I'm going to drag it in that one and then drag it in the light. And then I'm going to pick a spot and work them on my palette to blend the colors.
You know what you're teaching right now, the loading your brush and the stroke, the comma stroke, I call it. You call it crescent,
Crescent.
but isn't it like a comma?
No, it's not a comma. A comma's
Oh,
different.
Comma has a round end.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You can
Or
do
are
a
you thinking of
comma.
a C or something?
Yeah, I am.
Well, a C stroke is another word for crescent.
Yeah.
Crescent starts with C.
Well, this was my first lesson as a painter at my beginning class. So I just, not everyone gets that as beginners.
No, most people don't now. Stroke painting is not taught anymore, not like it was when I started.
It's like us. It's
So-
getting old.
I'll go ahead and dip again,
I had to
especially in the
know,
light.
I had like 4 weeks of just strokes
I did
before
too.
we even painted anything.
So I'm gonna load again because I wanna keep a nice light edge. Well,
Maybe that was just my teacher's way.
okay, now, on this backstroke, I'm gonna turn the work where I can use it. And then I'm going to kind of, and my brush size, my brush is about half the distance where I want the back petals and the bottom of the mouth. A third to a half distance. It's really not scientific, but that's kind of the way I estimate it. So I'm gonna start and I'm gonna come around here and this is a slow stroke and I'll pick it up. But I'm trying to have the bottom of it is actually pointing down toward here. And if I have that imaginary center of the rose, it's right down in here somewhere. So I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna make sure I have light and dark on my brush. I'll go back to the same area for quite a while until that begins to dry. And then I'm gonna come inside and I'm gonna put some other strokes inside that one. You can come either side. And I like to do on the larger roses, I like to do maybe 3 at least. This one will come inside and I try to vary them so they don't all have the same hump, hump, hump type thing.
So they don't look exactly alike.
Yeah,
Just
variation.
represented or something.
That's my.
And then I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna lay my brush right next to that, where that stroke was. And I'm gonna kind of fan it out. And I'm gonna kind of curve around and then lift off as I come down here close to where I put that X. I don't usually put an X, that's just an imaginary thing I do.
I think I'll have to put the X.
But,
Yeah, me too.
but if it helps you with your direction, that's
Yes.
good.
I think it would.
And then I'm gonna go over here to the other side, to where the back connects. And I'm gonna do another stroke. And you don't have to rush these strokes. That's one of the biggest mistakes people make is to rush the strokes. Now I can go ahead and do, oops, got that one the wrong way. Okay, if you want, you can go ahead and maybe put another side stroke in there. I don't always do this, but sometimes I do. won't be as large as that other outer petal. And then I'm going to close the mouth. I've got a little speck of something in there. So I'm going to connect with, right up here with these petals on the chisel edge, pull down, and then over and lift back up.
That looks much easier than the way I was taught to do that.
And then I'm going to come in here again, slide down here on the chisel edge. And I may break this one and then come up and then come up here. So I have a little variation.